All right, everyone. Thank you very much for waiting. It's time to begin the Dragon Ball Super Card Game World Championship 2023 Final Round! Today, the world's best Dragon Ball Super Card Game player will be decided. How will the final battle between these top players end? You don't want to miss seeing any of it. So I hope you guys are ready. We hope that everybody in the audience will give their full support to the two finalists. They're in the back and they're pretty much ready, so let's do it. So, let's begin the Dragon Ball Super Card Game World Championship 2023 final round. So, it's time for me to hand it over to Eggman and Richard. Come on up. They're all yours.
All right, Zap, did you hear anything when we were heading up stage? I thought I almost heard some...
Almost.
Almost.
Can we please hear for the excitement for this event?
Woo! I heard that one. I heard that one. All right. Hey, everyone. Here at the Dragon Ball Battle Hour 2024, the Dragon Ball Super Card Game World Championship 2023 Finals is about to start.
Eggman and I will be providing commentary for you, so let's all have fun and enjoy the match together.
Last time we crowned a world championship was in Las Vegas, but this year we are here in Los Angeles, but the winner may be the same between these two events. I, for one, am super excited to find out who will be the crowned champion. How about everyone else? Before the final match starts, let's review the matches that we saw up until now. We did do a full World Championship today after the North American Finals earlier this weekend as well. And here are our top 8 players. And we see in our chart, we have Michael Carrick on the top there, beating Alexis in the top 8, as well as Patrick in the top 4.
Correct. And then on the other side of the bracket, Poe and Yvonne competed, as well as Jerson and Philip.
With Philip taking it all the way and being our finalist here for this weekend and our world finalist, our world winner from this last year, defending his title now.
Indeed. Now it's time to have the two finalists come on stage. Let's give them a round of applause, everyone.
All right, so we have our two players. First, we have Michael, who was able to get a finish here this weekend, second place in our North American Finals with Android 21, and continuing with Android 21 in this event today, too.
And on the other side, Philip Tarpini, our returning world champion, hailing from Italy, earning his invite again through Jiren, now coming with Son Goku.
I hope everyone's waiting eagerly, so let's have this finalist move to the battle table and get ready to start. All right, so this has been a pretty big day for the Dragon Ball Super card game. We had the entirety of the North American Finals. We had 2 finalists from that, one of them being Michael right here. And now we had the World Championship with our 8 players, down to just 2. Quite a lot of games today.
And that's not before all the other events that we saw through Dragon Ball Game Battle Hour 2024, including Dragon Ball Super Fusion World.
100%. And so for this event specifically, it's going to be best of 3 and no time limit. So I hope you guys are strapped in. I think there's going to be a lot of Dragon Ball today.
Indeed. We'll be getting ready very shortly. We will see Yellow U7 Son Goku playing against Android 21. For all our Dragon Ball Fighters fans out there, be very enthusiastic to see a familiar face.
Yes, Goku's been doing very good this year. He's been one of the newer decks that have been just doing a lot of work and just very, very powerful.
Talking a little more about the players that we have, on the blue side, we have Philip Tarpini, as I spoke about. He is the returning world champion. He used a Trunks Vegeta deck to succeed last year, bringing a yellow deck back this year, demonstrating one of the strongest, if not the strongest, international talent in the Dragon Ball Super Masters environment.
Yeah, but Michael also has been around for a while, been doing a lot of good work, doing a lot of control decks. Android 21 definitely makes sense for his playstyle, and not a surprise to see him on this stage either.
Michael Carrick, going by legends often in the community, takes so much pride in finding creative, innovative strategies, bringing it to the table, and having insane success at the regional and national level, including a top 8 here last year in Las Vegas.
Definitely, definitely. So looks like they are almost ready. We're going to make sure that they're ready to set up. But again, this will be best of 3. And it looks like Michael will probably be going first here. It's a really important factor of who goes first in these card games, right?
Indeed. As the game hopes to try to make that as fair as possible, when you do have that additional momentum that comes from being first, it always slants you an opportunity to be slightly advantageous. But there's always an opportunity for the player going second to come back.
Definitely. And for this matchup specifically, who do you think has the edge? What has the edge for a matchup like this one?
Both of these decks function on very different strategies. We'll be seeing Philip trying to build a large amount of Z energy into the Z energy area, and then trying to convert that into a lot of different powerful effects.
Yeah. And I think both decks also have the potential to do a lot of damage outside of battle, which is a little bit rare in this card game. And because of that, too, it could just be a quick OTK without anyone really noticing it.
Correct. The strategy behind the Android 21 deck is it will utilize the opponent's cards, trying to convert it into energy, allowing Michael to play his cards for a discounted rate.
Yeah. And so I think you can get around with it with Goku and not play some cards sometimes, maybe give them a little bit less energy to work with. And no doubt, this is both matchups that both players have not only played this weekend, but need to be aware of, and it's going to be really interesting.
Correct. At the regional level, at the national level, that we've been seeing nationals over the last 8 to 10 weeks, both of these leaders are very known quantities. We're going into the format. Both of these players have a plan for game 1. No matter what the outcome is, they have a plan when they dive into the side deck for game 2. And we're going to see that preparedness pay off in strides in this grand finals.
100%. And like these are prepared sideboards. They know that this is going to be a matchup for both these. No wild cards today, and it should be a good match.
Dozens of reps these players have. And it's such a challenging format to get to this point because there are 10, 12, 14 different leaders at the highest echelon of play that had a shot of being here in these grand finals, and another 10 or so that would be sleeper hits that could come in.
Yeah.
Incredibly diverse format, one of the most diverse formats we've seen in a national season.
100%. And off stage right now, we have the 3rd place match going on, and Red Cooler is in that right now, something that I was not expecting to be even qualifying for Worlds, but being 3rd place potentially is amazing.
Correct. Patrick on the sidelines there with a red deck, earning the award of, after winning U.S. Nationals earlier today, being the first player to win a national event in the United States with a red leader.
Yeah, and we have Ivan also there. He's going to be playing for the chance for 3rd place, so I hope he has a good match on that one. It's been it's great matches all around today.
I believe playing the very similar archetype to what Michael Carrick is playing.
Correct. And obviously we did have Philip get that match to get here, so maybe a little bit intimidating for that one.
So as we begin to see the players setting up, we'll see the players draw their 6 cards and make a determination of how many of those cards they like to keep to their hand. They'll put the rest back in their deck and then draw back up to 6 cards.
Correct, and these are both 8 life leaders, and in this game too, when you are out of cards in your life, you lose on the spot, so you do want to get them right down to 0 to get that W.
Do you anticipate that both of these leaders will lose their life very quickly?
Android 21 definitely gets a lot of benefits from it. It doesn't get a lot of cycle, especially compared to Goku in this matchup, so being able to go to a low life total, especially since Android 21 does have a secret rare that does let you get life back later, too.
Definitely going to be one of the turning points of this match. On the flip side, the autonomous U7 Ultra Instinct Sen Goku naturally likes to put a lot of cards into the combo area that naturally creates a high life total throughout a high percentage of the game.
Definitely. So it looks like they are about set up. I think I am ready if you are ready.
I don't know. Is everybody ready?
Yeah, I think so as well. So are you guys ready? All right, the first game of the 2023 World Champion Finals starts now.
Finishing determinations on who will begin first. And we'll see this gameplay begin very
There it is.
There it is.
All right, Michael is going first. He's doing a charge there, being able to take 1 card from your life, looking at the top 5 for an Android. And a good couple of picks there for sure.
Deck often running 25 or more. We'll see the defending friends. Probably not going to see that in the early game, but I'd be surprised if it doesn't come up later in the series.
Yeah, being able to be a pretty cheap floodgate, and just the fact that it's searchable from leader for free is very nice.
respectable tap, suggesting that Philip is happy with the amount shuffled.
And looks like passing back. No turn 1 play, but that's fine for this deck. We're going back to Philip here. Hopefully finding a 1 cost to start doing the cycle with it.
Very, very similar to what the leader did. We'll be looking for a low-costed Universe 7 card from the hand.
Yep, so with that Piccolo, we are able to find one of those and add it to hand.
Philip preparing. Going second, Philip will have the opportunity to declare the first attack if he so desires. Curious to find out if he does.
Yeah, and you don't inherently draw from this leader like most other ones, but you draw based on being into the combo stuff. So using this this counterattack doesn't negate the attack, but is a really good card for making sure that cards don't stay in the combo area.
And this My Peel Off Shoe trio saying, bringing in a card that is very favorable in the early game of this matchup.
Yep, so Philip's comboing too. I think he maybe considering comboing a third just to guarantee some Z energy, and yeah, adding a third card in there. So that means that even if the trio that's on the board there uses its Activate Battle to get one of those cards out of the combo area, you still are able to get the cards into your Z energy as well as the card draw.
And we'll see that right away. We'll see Legends Personified going into the bottom of the deck and preparing for a 20k attack. Legends takes it.
Yeah, deciding to just do a combo just to put cards in their own Z energy, but also 2 for each, and then the effects of the cards in the combo area allow for another draw. So honestly, just even though it's just turn 1, that was just a lot of back and forth, a lot of counterplay going on for it. And just kind of shows that both players want to put cards in that Z energy at a pretty high cost.
Exactly. And that Z energy, short for Zenkai energy,
yes,
that's been a new introduction in the last year and a half to the Dragon Ball Super card game.
Yeah, we've been adding new cards to it, including the Z extra cards that are the newer cards right now, and I think Z Unisons are on their way as well.
Correct. And in the new series coming out in the next couple months, we'll be seeing Z Unisons.
All right, so we are at 2 energy. We take another card from our life to look at the top 5 for another blue android. We find the Android 17, which we might just discard away immediately to get their activate main to look top 5 again. All right, for 2, yeah, dig into our Zenkai deck.
Pulling out Android 21.
And it does have a Z stack, so we put another Android 21 underneath it. That means we also get the energy back. We're going to be able to get a ability activating at the start of our opponent's main phase. So once we get there, we will see the Android 21 from underneath come out and get the additional ramp for the deck.
And as we enter the beginning of the main phase, we will see Android 21 split into the 2 personalities, and also enabling Michael to gain an extra energy off of the top of the deck, trying to accelerate his game plan so he can act sooner than later.
Yeah, Blue's really, really good at energy manipulation in this game, and this deck is no different, especially with the leader effect on the other side.
Philip pushing in the aggression as Android 21 uses its blocker skill, redirecting the attack into it.
All right, and we still have that Shu, Mai, and Pilaf out there, so being able to get cards out of the combo area is pretty strong.
Indeed. 20,000 power, matchup with 20,000. We have to ask if we'll go any larger.
And you know, both of these cards activate in the Z energy, so by putting that into the bottom of the deck instead, we don't get that Goku that, you know, twice now they've tried to put into their Z energy.
Indeed. Philip digging into the well of options, asking himself, what can he get next? Not happy with the options that he does have. He will activate his awakening skill, going from 8 life down to 6 life, and then adding 2 cards into his hand.
Yeah, and we do have like the alternate awakening condition in this deck, and obviously Michael has no onus to start attacking, giving that free advantage to Philip. So at least being able to take 2 cards from their own life has been really strong, and alternate awakening conditions have been very strong in this card game the last couple years.
Destined Battle Vegeta coming in at a powerful 25k. Will be the only 25k swing we'll likely see due to that Servant ability, keeping it rested for the duration of the match.
And if we did have one more energy, we would be having double strike, but we do not have that, so just a very big 25k attack.
Indeed. In another matchup, it may be correct for Philip to sit in that Vegeta in active mode and utilize it on the following turn. However, when Michael was able to utilize that as energy, a little bit on the risky side of things.
Yeah, and we've specifically watched both these players quite a few times this weekend, right? And I've noticed for sure Philip's no coward to just putting up that energy, leaving it there and passing and being like, this is going to be really, really powerful for me later, and I want to be able to interact with what they're doing, and we'll see what that one energy can represent in this turn.
Correct. With the glimpse of talent, we then see Android 21 awakening at 4 life, preparing to use the activate main skill on that Android or on that Pan, switching it to the opponent's side of the field, but not before we see a second copy.
Yeah. And this Pan, especially on the Awaken turn, is so good. It's kind of like a mini ramp because you're able to use the energy and then you pass it back and then you tap the Pan, so you get that net 1 energy to play your Android 21s.
Correct. We see the leader skill activate. He'll consider if he wants to switch the Destined Battle Vegeta into active mode or not. Definitely some pros and cons on both sides of that decision.
Yeah, because if you're able to put in active mode, you know, the servant effect, you have to essentially tap it back, right?
But Michael decides that he doesn't have a good way to utilize it, so he will choose to keep it rested.
Yeah, luckily those pans aren't immediately going anywhere, and they can be used for later turns for those effects. But just showing how many cards he has in hand right now, quite a book.
Mm-hmm. Looking like on the maybe north of 8 cards, possibly up to 10.
Mm-hmm.
Philip digging deep into as well. Full access to his Z deck, which we know will only have Z extras due to the limitations on his U7 Goku leader. Does he play a Goku? Does he play a Vegeta? Does he play a Z extra? Only time will tell.
Yeah, and again, like, most of the time when I see Philip stressed out is when there's not a lot of cards in that Z energy, and I think, again, Michael's done a really good job at, by not attacking, you can still develop your own resources without Philip getting his own.
Absolutely. And as we see this 4-cost Son Goku hit the field in all his special rare glory, a couple options. He will have the ability to switch a card into rest mode, but we get a response. Players taking a moment to discuss the game state. Before Android 21 hits the field. Knitting a draw and resting the Son Goku.
Yeah, but the Shu, Mai, and Pilaf is also rested, so being able to attack that is quite nice. It's been a kind of a headache for doing combos on your own turn, you know, if Michael's already preventing any combos on their turn by not attacking at all, it will help Philip a lot.
Oh, absolutely. And we see leader coming in. 15 into 4. Michael's been leaning on that Pilaf trio.
Oh, yeah, but he's going to negate the attack with that Android 17 defending friends that we saw picked up from the top of the deck earlier.
Correct. May not have 3 energy in Z, but does have the Z battle card, creating a permanent effect to Philip. Any attack he declares for the duration of the turn is going to cost him a card from his hand.
All right, so Philip is still at it. Got quite a few energy, but yeah, just passing.
Again, this is a battle of attrition. It will not be common to see these players sit on 2, 3, 4 energy throughout the game, making sure that they have an ample amount of offense and defense that they are applying every turn they can.
Yeah, it's so wild to see like varying skills of this game because, you know, passing at 3 is normally rough, right? It feels like you don't have anything to play, but it's the opposite. You have so much you want to play that you just can't play anything.
Correct. We see the Ender 21 coming in. We see a combo. Generating Z and increasing the attack power.
Yep, and this will let Philip at least get some cycle and use the leader ability.
Android 18 being a Universe 7 allows Goku to activate his auto ability. Will draw an extra card. Most leaders in the Dragon Ball Super card game, both Masters and Fusion World, tend to draw 1 card, but how that 1 card gets drawn can vary from card to card, from leader to leader.
Yep, and one of those cards did have the effect that by using it in a combo, you are able to put in your Z energy and then look at your Z area and or your combo area, and if there's a Universe 7 in there, you get another draw.
Michael digging deep into his number of tricks. has a small textbook in his hand.
Mm-hmm.
We see Android 21 coming in.
Right, super combo there.
Good old reliable Android 8.
Doesn't need to be fancy. It says draw 1. That's all I need.
30,000 power. What's the response? See a combo up to 20.
All right, getting the rest on the trio there again, wanting to try to get rid of it, I'm sure.
And Bergamo's Ferocious Roar.
Oh, yeah.
Singleton copy in Philip's deck, being able to choose 2 cards, very frequently energy, and switching it to rest mode, one of the most powerful skills we see in the Dragon Ball Super game environment.
Yeah, not a singleton by choice, but by requirement. If you could run more than one of those, I'm sure he would.
Correct. One of the beautiful things about the Dragon Ball Super card game is the vast majority of the card pool is legal. If you were playing in 2017, almost all of those cards that you had from Series 1 still available to be played today.
All right, looks like the thing about passing, yeah. No, sorry, putting the 3 energy open with the leader effect and then giving over some pan. So again, you are able to play cards by using your opponent's battle cards as energy costs for Android 21s.
And Pan lets you volunteer your battle cards to the opponent.
Yeah, so it kind of sets up as like a way that you used energy earlier, but you get to use it later by giving it over to your opponent.
And once it's switched to active mode on the opponent's turn, you have an opportunity to use it defensively. It almost makes Michael play a game of not just your turn and my turn, but our turn.
Our turn.
Quick evaluation of some card text, making sure everybody understands things correctly. Before we see a So we see a Z stack of 2 coming from that Android 21 from the Z deck, accomplishing a couple things. Once per turn, you can choose a keyword underneath that card and gain it. One of the more interesting interactions here is by gaining Servant, that 20k Android 21 can now swing for 30, but at the end of the opponent's turn, it'll forget it had Servant.
Yeah.
It'll remember that it has autonomy, and it will switch to active mode on Michael's following turn.
Yeah, that's a really, really interesting interaction because normally you only get skills, keyword ones, but being able to get one that naturally gives a boost like that without any of the negatives is really great.
Correct. On the flip side, you do have the capacity to choose from the Zamasu that is underneath and be able to give Android 21 Indestructible, one of the strongest keywords in the Dragon Ball Super card game.
Yeah, pretty much able to get around everything. The only thing is that if you are able to rest it with a yellow skill, which is pretty common, you do get around the blocker part, but it's still very strong.
Indeed. One Kamehameha later, and that battle was favorable for Michael. And play moves to Philip.
Yeah, and this is usually how a lot of the games are going right now. You kind of push down to 4 or 5 life, and then you just kind of sit there until one player is like, all right, I think I can get there. Let's see how much pressure I can put. And not wanting to give any more free advantage, free cards to someone before they're really finding the pieces they need.
Correct. The board state looks a little closer than you would think at first glance. Philip having 2 battle cards and Michael having 4. But Philip doesn't particularly want those pans on the field. Those will switch to active mode here shortly, and we'll...
Oh, are we playing We Are Number 1?
You Are Number 1. The previous world champion playing You Are Number 1. Can you think of anything more elegant?
No, it's a legal card to play. It's definitely one of the rarer ones, but it's the ghost rare Goku with it.
Philip
made it this far. You gotta flex.
You see Philip smiling. He knows that he wanted to be on this stage showing off this amazing opportunity to play one of the most invaluable cards in the Dragon Ball Super card game. What an iconic moment. And for everybody here to witness that is amazing.
So right now we have a plus 10k. We have triple strike and dual attack. And it's going to be pretty hard to defend this big Goku swing coming in.
And pretty hard to see how beautiful that card is.
It is.
Look at how it shines off the field.
Just moving so fast, you can't see him.
Indeed. We have a response on the first. We do have a Dimension Magic. Philip considering, does he have a response? No response. Puts Michael up to 2 energy. On swing, also being allowed to choose one card and switch to rest mode, and he will choose the energy.
Yep, and so we got defending friends as well.
Now with all the energy untapped, that Son Goku is also allowed to say choose a card in rest mode and KO it. That's exactly what it'll do. Michael sitting on a small textbook, back to college with that hand size.
Yep. And with just that Goku, if we had all the effects that are actually on it right now, it'd be quite a long list.
Indeed. But that is the power of secret rares. Every deck in the Dragon Ball Super card game being allowed to play one card that has the keyword ultimate, allowing often the most powerful card in your deck. We've just seen Philip play his trump card.
But luckily, like, this is not like an all-for-one trump card. There's a lot of them that, I gotta push for the win right now, and there's a lot of pressure from this Goku, but you still are, have a lot of strength left in this deck.
Indeed, and I can't wait to see if Michael has any trump cards to respond with.
I can think of one, but I'm not sure if he's seen it yet.
There is the Multiple Awakening, the mascot of the Universe 7 deck.
Yeah, this is one of the unique ways to do additional damage with this deck, and additionally just have a lot of swings. I mean, technically we only have 2 Gokus out, but they're going to be able to swing multiple times just with all these effects.
For every 3 Z energy that exists, this could be another 30k swing.
Yeah, and we are still under the defending the friends, so we do have to bottom deck a card every time we attack, but we are trying to go for it.
Philip definitely advantage on offense, but that hand size getting a little risky a little quickly.
And he's had a couple Dimension Magics, the defending friends. He's still preventing him from getting into the battle step.
That being the nature of blue inherently. Play a lot of defensive cards, get later into the game, play some of the most powerful, high-costed battle cards the game can offer.
Yeah, and with that, just no real option but just to pass back. And yeah, Michael still has so many cards in hand, and being able to just prevent any battle from really going on was just huge.
Players taking a minute. Michael evaluating what card needs to go into the energy area. A few cards in the Dragon Ball Super card game allow you to retrieve cards from the energy area, Speedy Substitution Android 18 being one of them. But for the most part, once you put a card in the energy area, you're committing to not being able to play that card for the rest of the game.
Yeah. Blue is an exception, but they do have some manipulation for it. But yeah, it's probably my favorite thing about this card game. There's always a decision, and whenever I'm on the back foot, I can always go back and say, maybe if I did need this card that I put in my energy early, I could have made something different.
The players clarifying a small confusion in the game state. The 2-pan glimpses of talent not switch to active mode, although they should have been in the active mode position. And we have a triplet.
Yeah, there's a third one. All right. And with 3 pans, we're going to get some pretty good, another Android 21.
Total Audacity, drawing 2 cards and ensuring at the end of the turn, a clone token will add to Philip Tarpini's board.
And these clone tokens are really hard to get rid of, and they're really good for helping make sure that you can have stuff to pay your own energy costs.
We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and I believe 8 will be the Ceaseless Despair Android 21. Having a multitude of effects, being able to destroy multiple battle cards at Michael's discretion. Notice he's keeping the pans on because he finds them very favorable.
Yeah, because they are blue, they do provide blue energy, which there are a lot of blue specified energy costs for your Android 21 cards. So being able to pay it with those is really favorable.
Indeed. And at the end of the turn, we'll see Ceaseless Despair come in for 2 25,000 power swings and an untapping of 5, not 3, not 4, 5 energy.
Big old high 5 of energy.
We see some combo here. There's 20. I believe that's 40k. Michael doing some quick arithmetic. And Philip goes down to 1.
That's pretty big.
tensions are mounting. We see a top 5 tutor trying to increase the combo potential in the hand.
Oh, that's a bad omen. Like, literally. Like,
for all parties involved.
That is a card that's going to let him do 1 damage next turn if it hits the board. So Philip, even if he doesn't lose this turn, he knows that next turn it will definitely be his last.
Yeah, this is the pan-ultimate turn for Philip Tarpini in round 1 of this World Championship. But not before a swing on this Android 21. And we have to ask ourselves, how much are we going to combo? We see 35, we see 45. Is this going to be it?
I think he's going to have
50?
Jiren in the main. Interesting.
55? 60? How high is Michael going to get?
He's like, all right, I'm all right this far in. We're going to just go all the way in at 70.
70? 75? Then we need to generate 80,000 combo power.
All right, 25 with that super combo. Get a card draw.
Another draw.
So we're at 30, 40.
50. And no, Michael takes game 1. What an intense match.
Michael is 1 game away from being the new world champion of the Dragon Ball Super World card game.
A world champion.
World champion.
Michael Carrick. I think if you ask most Americans for their the top 10 strongest American players, Michael Carrick is on almost everybody's list.
For sure. And last year, when we had our World Championship, all the Americans were out by around our top 4, I believe, right? So definitely being able to put us back on the map, I think that's a really good finals rate that we have for us here.
But Philip, our previous world champion, is not going to give this up without a fight. As we know, he is #1, and he still has 2 games to prove that he is.
Yeah, and this is untimed, so he's got ample time to think of strategies, make sure he's making the right decisions here. And it's really tough to say who can outside each other in game 2. It's a real big turn of momentum for this.
Right, so 15 cards in each player's side deck. They're allowed to take as many cards as they want, place it into the main deck, as long as they take the same number of cards and return it to the side deck.
Correct.
And usually the strategy here, our players are thinking about what matchups are they the most concerned about, what matchups are they the least favorable to, and what cards can I include into the decks to increase the likelihood of game 2 and 3 going favorably.
Definitely, and I would assume, as usual, both these players knew that they'd be playing these matches. And I did talk to Philip earlier, too, and he's like, this is a pretty scary matchup for me personally, but he's really confident that he has some decisions in the sideboard to help make it a little bit more even.
Yeah. We did see Philip Tarpini in a previous round know that he does main deck Trunks the Cunning, a very powerful 1-drop that against blue strategies that untap energy offensively can really help out the matchup. Unfortunately, he wasn't able to see that as early as he wanted to this game, but I have a suspicion there's going to be more where that came from coming into this game too.
Yeah, and we saw it at the end there when Michael was comboing. He was putting Jiren as a main board card, which is a little bit rough, especially because it's not a blue card and it can hit off the top of your deck, but quite the call out to making sure that probably Turning the Tide and other like cards aren't hitting him in like a best-of-1 format.
So ironic thinking about their surnames. You have Android 17 Turning the Tide, which the way that it's often played in the format is if you resolve that card, you win the game.
Yeah, the tide has been turned, yes.
Yeah, no matter how much you're losing. But if Jiren's Survival of the Fittest is in the opponent's hand, the tide turns again against the blue player.
I love Dragon Ball. It's great. I love this card game. It's fantastic. There's just so much levels of counterplay, and especially starting from round 1 yesterday to evolving to where we're at, I can see like people just keep telling me it's just like, well, I run this card because they run that card because I can beat it with this card, right? Like it's like triple layered all the way through, and it's just so much counterplay for that. It's so intriguing. Such a complex game, and you get rewarded for being the smartest one in the room.
Right. The blood, sweat, and tears that these players learn into learning their deck, to learning their opponent's deck, looking at these first 6 cards and asking themselves, which ones do they want, which ones do they not? Both of them look at their hands, and with the exception of 1 card in Philip's hand, they both knew these are not what I am looking for. So we're going to see those shuffles up, we're going to see some redraws, and then we're going to see this game 2 get started.
Yep, and for example, too, this is Philip's going to be able to go first in this game, which is also a big buff for him, being able to get that aggression. and hopefully help get into the combo step a little bit more to get that cycle, build that Z energy. I think it's going to be really important.
As you predicted, you said that the player going first does have a slight advantage in this matchup, and Michael was able to go first and get some early game leverage going into that game 1. Game 2, we're going to see if those tables turn.
All right, Philip's drawn up to 6, putting down their 8 life. And it looks like Michael is ready. Are you ready to start game 2?
I'm so ready. Who else is ready to see round 2? Woo! That's what we like to hear.
All right, we're starting it off. Philip charging the Android 17. Thinking about it, playing the Piccolo.
Deciding that he doesn't just want any card, he wants a Universe 7 card.
He does.
That blue hair Goku going to be crucial for holding back Unisons, holding back the secret rare Android 21 that we see, being able to freeze a blocker on the yellow player's turn, and then keeping that blue card pinned down on all of the opponent's turn. Can be very impactful.
It's got to get to the Z energy first, which we've seen is a bit of a task in Michael's game plan, but we'll see if it gets there.
Indeed. One of the hardest decisions that these Android 21 players need to make in this early game. When they use this leader skill and they search the top 5, they also get a 5,000 power boost to their Android 21 leader. So you have to ask yourself, do I use this extra power to attack on the first turn? Or am I okay not utilizing that advantage, but also not creating a combo step?
Yeah, it's tough because, again, like I think Philip benefits more from you attacking, and I think that's why Michael has prevented himself from attacking and will probably continue until he feels really comfortable about it.
We see Philip contemplating what he wants to do before attacking, hoping that there's not another My Pilaf Shu trio waiting in the wings. We see the swing, and we do see it. Oh. Philip rolling in his seat a little bit, but having the cards in hand, we know he has the Goku, he has the 2 1-drop draw generators upon the end of the combo.
Yeah, why to think that a 1-drop without barrier would be causing so much issues is insane.
Michael realizing how impactful that Goku can be in the matchups and making sure that hits the bottom deck quickly. And Total Audacity hits the Z energy area.
All right, this is looking a little bit flashback to game 1 a little bit, and hopefully they have a way to get rid of this this trio here.
Indeed. Destined Battle Vegeta hitting the board, and kind of as we talked about previously, choosing to keep it in active position. One of the most technical plays you can see in this early game matchup. As we said, Vegeta is a 25k swing, and on turn 3 it gains double strike. But in active position, it's a victim for Android 21 untapping battle cards.
Right, looking top 5, finding an Android 7 or Android 18 off the top there.
Philip continuing to take that gamble that Michael Carrick is not going to awaken on this turn, allowing that Vegeta to stay inactive. But if Michael can find a way to awaken early, this could spell disaster.
Yeah, I'm thinking that this was probably just to get an additional draw for 1 at this point. The attack probably wasn't worth it, especially with the trio there, and not giving them more resources to help awaken with is probably for the best.
After the turn 3 charge, we do see the personality split, and we see Vegeta enter the bottom of the deck. 3 battle cards in the field. Stable with a 5 life. But I will say this 3 life advantage.
Oh, we're playing it as soon as we can.
Wow. I'm telling you, I am number 1.
Well, here's the thing. We don't have any energy open. We don't have Dimension Magic because we don't have Burst 5, right? Oh, no. Is it in our life?
He does have 2 copies. He does play 2 copies.
Oh, is it in the hand? Is it in the hand? They're both in the life. Oh, my goodness.
We're looking at a 5% chance of this happening. Philip digs. Oh, and he finds a 6-drop.
Man, that's a little unfortunate on that one. There are 8 cards in life, and it can play from the hand, too, but you didn't want to awaken until you played this card, so that's a little rough.
Correct. Still having the option of searching for the 6-drop or the 4-drop and making sure that they enter the battle area.
Despite everything, though, you are still able to put a lot of pressure with this card. And without them having any energy open right now, I think you're going to be able to hit them from 5 to 2 very easily if you put enough pressure.
Oh, very, very feasible. We're seeing the top of the blocker. And then we're about to see a 40k base.
And I believe we're probably going to attack, use the combo effect, draw 1, awaken, use combo effects, draw 1, get an energy, or more cards.
And we see the first swing. Michael swinging on approximately 9 cards in hand.
Yeah, and again, we don't have enough cards for Dimension Magic, so even if he had it, you would not be able to activate it.
We see the first combo. We see the second combo.
All right, they're going to use that to get rid of one of the combo pieces there. I think we're still 45k triple. Yeah, we're going to take it.
Going down from 5 to 2
All right, we're going to awaken.
for awakening. Seeing that ghost rare taunting. Phillips is laughing at the statistical anomaly that is this game 2.
Yeah, and the rough part is he did it for the most value. If he would have taken those 2 life, he would have been able to play it from hand instead, but we are still able to go in and...
Oh, he drew both copies off of those 8 life. Both copies of the SS3. 40, 50, 60. There's 70.
There's the core, yeah.
Feeling good.
No super combos, but you're not at low enough life to use them anyways.
Correct. We're going to see if...
Yeah, our own awakening, so it gets an energy open. Our own super combo, since we're down to 2.
And we do see a Zeno super combo that will open up a second energy. We see the 10k off of Ceaseless.
Currently we're at 35. 45 from Tide.
There's Zeno. Picking up that Ceaseless. Going to serve as another 0-10 here very shortly. Both players doing some quick arithmetic.
Michael's still deciding what card to put back in energy. Oh, or maybe just deciding to not put something back in energy.
Very possibly. I'd be surprised if there's no 110s in his hand, but that very well could be the case.
All right, yeah, putting the Android 18 back in there.
That measureless strength. And we do see an out combo here.
Yep. Still at 2 life for Michael. We can attack with leader, but it wouldn't be able to do 2 damage. Get a lot of Z energy for Philip, and he still has a couple cards in hand, but not the outcome he would have wanted.
Correct. An interesting angle that could have been had here is that this leader could swing. Imagine comboing those super combos just for generating Z, completely despite not being able to generate significant advantage from them. We see the leader swing.
Yep, attacking.
Oh no, we just see the draw.
All right,
Pass.
sounds good. All right, Michael's going to 4 cards in energy, 2 cards in life, and probably about 6 or 7, no, probably closer to 10 cards in hand now.
Indeed, Michael trying to find a way. He was able to survive, but 6 life is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be tough to see what the end game is going to be. I think Michael's going to just continue to gain a lot of value, be able to draw cards, and not hit those cards in life, knowing that if Philip's just at 4 or 5 cards for the rest of the game, he's not going to be able to do much.
I agree. We're going to see the leaders go activate, drawing a card, and allowing autonomous Son Goku to be, or multiple awakenings to be an additional energy for Michael. We see the glimpse of talent moving over. This could be a huge play. We see 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
And we see the secret rare, Michael's trump card.
This secret rare is going to let him choose those 2 cards, put it underneath the Android 21, as well as gain 1 life back for every 2, up to 2 cards chosen.
That single life, putting Michael Carrick back at 3 life. The difference between 2 and 3 in this matchup is very significant.
It is. It is. I don't think Philip has access to a lot, if any, triple strike, especially since the We Are #1 has already been used.
Correct. Michael Carrick now providing the threat on this 40K secret rare. But not before a leader swing.
Oh, he's tempted to not to, but yeah, this Android 21 gets a lot of damage. All
After
right.
heavily contemplating, he decides, you know, I'm going to keep your hand size small. One of the most beautiful strategies associated with Dragon Ball Super is, for me to be able to win the game, I have to give you cards. I have to make it easier for you to beat me. And the difference between being a good player and a great player is how do you manage that attrition?
Yeah, I can't say that any better. It's such a cool mechanic, being able to get stronger the more you take damage. It's so akin to the Dragon Ball, you know, movies and TV shows, just all at once, just being able to fight back and have a chance. I really, really do like it. Let's see, and I think he's given up. Is that right? Or did he miss the?
Yeah,
Man.
it looked like that was a whiff on the top 5.
Oh man.
Piccolo for a Universe 7. Philip's luck definitely being a contributing factor to succeeding in making these grand finals, but this game too is not been statistically what you're looking for.
No, I'm sure when he saw the secret rare and he could play it on turn 3, he was very excited, but it's been a little downhill since then.
Philip doing some quick math, trying to identify. And we will see the first attempt in return one does have some destruction resistance. The first time it tries to get destroyed, the cards underneath it get destroyed in its place.
Yeah, so you don't have any ways to put cards back underneath it, so that's the only way, only time that gets that protection, but it's still around and still quite a threat.
And I believe we see the Trunks the Cunning that we spoke about previously, a pretty hard check to that Android 21 Ceaseless Despair. At the end of the turn, historically, Ceaseless would say untap 5 energy. Trunks the Cunning puts a heavy tax on that of moving cards in the drop area.
Yeah, so it really just kind of negates that skill for the rest of the game, which is quite nice.
We see a Pan charged. Michael saying, I have all the talent I need. I don't need a glimpse of Pan's talent to get through this game. And we see Oob. Oob hitting the board for 2 and serving as a way to actually accelerate Philip's Z energy. In some ways, Philip should be saying, thank you for that. I really appreciate it.
Even making sure I have minimal Z energy for the rest, for this entire match. This will give me ways to make more of it, but maybe not in the way he wants.
Correct. On the flip side, by adding cards to the Z energy, you do activate the other effect of the Oob, putting a tax on activating counter cards. But only once you hit a certain Z threshold of, I believe, 7. We see the first 40K swing, and we quickly go down to 4 life. Switch to active. We'll get a quick draw off the leader skill before we see another 40K single coming in. We take the life, we go down to 3. Game's all tied up. Here comes a double strike.
Philip's thinking about this one. He's had a couple more cards than he did at the start of this turn, so maybe some counterplay here, but looks like we're having some combos first.
Here comes the backbone. We know we had 2 backbone previously. There's the second. And a Goku.
Getting a draw from the leader effect. And generating more of that Z energy. And going down to 2.
2-2. Was that on the oob swing?
No. That was a different swing. Combat out of the oops swing.
Yes.
And Michael's thinking about it. He could press some more. He's got 2 energy open and another Android 21, but might be saying, you know what? I don't want to overextend myself just in case they have something tricky.
Ooh, we're seeing some plays.
Oh, another oob.
Huge.
We're down to 2 life too, so if we take this double strike, we are losing, and it looks like it's going for game. Ultra Instinct,
Oh, geez.
Kamehameha.
Is this it?
And
that's game! Michael Carrick wins!
Michael Carrick is the world champion of Dragon Ball Super Card Game 2023!
Wow. What an incredible, historic moment.
Yeah, that was a great game. Both great players, and man, what a finish.
Yes. So our Dragon Ball Super Card Game World Champion 2023 is Michael Carrick. Let's hear it. The final match has just ended, which means it's already time for the award ceremony. Please join us at the front of the stage. Testing. So that was an incredible final match. You have to tell us, Carrick, how does it feel to be the Dragon Ball Super World Champion?
It feels awesome. Yeah. Honestly, you never do these things alone, and like this is the cheesiest speech, and everyone says this, but your friends are there, and that's what makes this game so much fun. And even if it's not just the people you play on a team with, it's everyone you meet along the way. So I'm really glad I got to play with every one of you for this game. Thanks.
Michael Carrick, everyone. All right, so to finish, we're sending a huge thank you to all the players who participated in the World Championship of 2023 and everyone who came out here to cheer them on. Thank you guys very much. And one more time, Michael Carrick.
And thank you too for the nice commentators. Give it up for the 2 commentators. Yeah. And you know, I'm sorry, I gotta do it too because I'm so happy for you, man. Give it up to the world champion, Michael Carrick! Yeah, and you know what? You said the speech was cheesy, but you know, it's the truth. And you know, the friends and also playing the cards with everybody, that's what's the beauty of it. But in that part, you know, you became #1 in the world. Congratulations one more time. And you know what? I do hope to see you again next year as well. So congratulations once more. Congrats. And over on the other side, the other stage, it looks like the Dragon Ball FighterZ World Tour 2023-24 champion has also been decided. So I would also like to congratulations, Hikari! All right, well, I'm sure you guys are super hyped up now, but the excitement is not yet over. Hironobu Kageyama Special Live is coming up very soon. All right? And so I want you guys to prepare yourselves to that. It starts at 6 o'clock. I'll probably be up on the stage 5 minutes before to hype you guys up. So before that, get yourselves ready. And hey, let's make this year amazing as well, okay? Let's have a great time all the way until the last second, guys. Let's have a great time. Thank you very much.